I know it feels very scary when you have your heart racing, your thoughts all jumbled up, and you feel like your life is about to end, that your future is in ruin, and you feel like you have no escape route. Well, this is how anxiety feels like. And as a psychiatrist, I deal daily with the hundreds of patients that deal with anxiety disorders. Anxiety is something that has a lot of clinical diagnosis in the form of patients that are suffering. It can be generalized anxiety, it can be panic attacks, as well as a lot of other specific anxieties like social anxiety, claustrophobia, and so much more. In today's video, we are going to talk about a lot of different types of anxiety and the way which you can actually help deal with anxiety symptoms that are bothering you on a day-to-day basis and the mindset shifts that you need to make if you are an anxious person. Hi, I'm Dr. Pubali. I'm a psychiatrist and I help lead people into their happiest, healthiest, and most fulfilled versions of life. And if you're someone who struggles with anxiety or you know someone that struggles with anxiety, then do send them this video. I have a lot of other videos related to self improvement on the playlist here. Do check that out, and I hope you will actually live life as your highest version as someone who doesn't have anxiety and is finally able to relax. Panic attacks feel like heart attacks. This is something I tell my patients that if you feel like a panic attack is just your thoughts and you can get over it, it's not. Because it feels like a heart attack, it's very painful. It comes with chest pain, palpitations, a lot of dizziness, brain fog, and a lot of other symptoms. In those times, you can't think clearly, you can't eat properly, you can't stand still. And if you're someone who is undergoing a major life situation, like maybe you're sitting for an interview, you're giving an exam, you're having a relative in the hospital, and at that time if a panic attack strikes, oh my god, it's just so dangerous, not for you but for your family as well, because you're struggling so much and it feels like a heart attack to you. It's important that we know how to distinguish panic attacks from heart attacks. And the most important factor will be that panic attacks are quite self limited. They are actually going to die down if you don't react to the negative thoughts in 15 to 20 minutes. In those situations, you can try out deep breathing. You can try to distract yourself. Just drink a glass of water, put on some music, have a favorite song that you play every time you have a panic attack. Have a glass of water nearby. Just take some deep breaths and know that this is not reality. Your life is not ending. Nothing bad is going to happen to you. These are just your thoughts and you can control them. And in the midst of so much, it's very important to know where you are, because sometimes panic attacks happen in very dangerous locations. Like maybe you're stuck in a bus or a metro, or you're standing in the middle of the road and suddenly a panic attack comes. So it's very important that you take yourself to a safe zone. Just go to the side of the road, sit down somewhere, calm yourself down, and you can definitely get over the panic attack very easily. Panic attacks are very stressful, but they also have known triggers sometimes. So focus a lot on identifying the triggers. That is often the first step towards solving panic attacks. And more than anything else, if you feel like you need a psychiatric consultation, do reach out anytime. You can actually see the link that I've added in the description box of my consultation. I do online consultations in which you can definitely get proper treatment of panic attacks, anxiety, and other mental health issues. The most important part is to realize that panic attacks are happening because definitely some stress has been there. Stress and cortisol definitely dysregulates your nervous system. It makes our heart race, it makes us feel sweaty, dizzy, uneasy, queasy, and so much more. So, just in the process of calming our panic attacks, we have to focus on reducing our heart rate, bringing down our thoughts, and just focusing on breathing. So, deep breathing is something I definitely recommend. If you are an anxious person in general, then do try out yoga or meditation too. There are a lot of meditation apps that actually help you deal with a lot of sympathetic nervous system activation. It helps you lower your resting heart rate, and it's best practiced daily, because once you practice calmness and relaxation exercises daily, you will see you are improving and a lot more can be achieved. Now let's come to the next part, and that is how to bring about the mindset shift of anxiety and depression. So the reason I talked about depression in this is because, as you know, depression is something that takes your mind back to the past. Panic attack is, or anxiety, something that takes your mind to the future. In both the cases, our aim should be to stay in the present. So mindfulness based techniques can definitely work well. You can focus on mindfulness in the simple way as whenever you're having a meal, just focus on the taste of the food. Don't have any music in the background, don't have any videos playing in the background, and just focus on savoring every bite. Similarly, when you're drinking water, just focus on the act of drinking water. When you're reading a book, just focus on reading the particular page of the book. Keep all your mobile devices away so that you're not disturbed by the notifications. These are some simple ways in which we can practice mindfulness in our day-to-day living. Wake up every day and ask yourself how you are feeling. Are you feeling good? Are you feeling very low? Are you feeling average? Give yourself a rating. Once you do this on a day-to-day basis, once you give your score daily out of 10, you will see that some days are 9 out of 10, some days are 4 out of 10, and you can actually plan your day accordingly. So anxious mind is actually a mind that is racing with a lot of thoughts. So in anxiety, our aim has to be calming the mind and reducing the speed of those thoughts. So deep breathing before your meals, deep breathing in the start of the day, deep breathing anytime that you're feeling anxious, anytime you have to talk to a person that you know is very tricky, anytime you're approaching an exam, anytime you're going into the interview room. These are some ways in which you can actually help your anxious brain relax and get the most out of it. And also, when we are talking about anxiety, we do need to think about mindset shifts. What happens is anxiety makes you think that the worst case scenario is happening in your future. So when we are dealing with anxiety, we have to know that our mind is playing games on us. It's actually tricking us to believe that the worst case scenario is going to come true. But often in life, that's not the case. Everything in life is often a game of probability. So just to weigh out your options. Next time you think that every time I step out of the road, I'm going to have an accident, just think, what is the probability of having an accident? Maybe it's 1 in 100.